Let's see if this records. Let's do some random stuff until I know it's recording. So, this is just some news. And I think, oh no, he's not doing any more typology videos. They will be coming. So, I did an event with Catherine Farber on, when was it? Was it about February 28th? And that will be uploaded soon. This is probably about 3 hours long. Lots of good stuff was in that event. We had a little preview. We had a section with Amanda. We had a section with Shannon. There she is. Discussing E6 versus E4. We had a section with Mitchell, Enneagram Type 5, Ruth, Enneagram Type 5, and Amanda, Enneagram Type 5. It was about 3 hours long. We pretty much stayed with what the 4 is like as a parent, and how to parent the 4. We sort of varied into many areas, but we just sort of digressed onto involving everybody who was in the event. So it was a very good event, in the same vein as the third one. So that's going to be posted soon. I'm waiting to be sent the video by Catherine's assistant, because Catherine hosted it on Zoom. So, also what is coming, planned live streams. And I know these get moved around. All this nonsense. So, will it not go up? Here. There we go. And various strategies with the naming of the channel. Because I was annoyed. I searched for my channel. I type in Socionics. My videos don't come up. My channel doesn't come up. So I thought, oh, I'm going to put Socionics in the name. Because if you type for, if you search to say Enneagram and channel, you usually get the channel names with Enneagram in it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to put keywords in there. Right. Hang on a minute, we've reviewed this one. Right. That can be removed. This one might be a while before we do this. Possibly. Right then, I can give you a little bit. Yeah, SE and SI use algae. And we could actually do that with Kristen, who is a rare species, a nice ESTJ. What have we got here? That's not moving up and down. Why isn't it moving up and down? That's weird. Maybe because there's nothing below it. Right. So this one here, Sensory Introverts. So I've read through the DCNH subtype profiles for SEI mediator, SLI craftsman, their name choice, ESI guardian, and I've read one of the 4, analyzed one of the 4 of the LSI profile inspector, and I've roughly read the creative profile, creative subtype. When I say roughly read, it's like a normal person's read rather than going line by line. Because especially with those sensory introvert profiles, I'm going line by line for looking for stuff that contradicts temperament and it always in line with temperament. So for example, creative subtype, it just comes straight out at you. Creative subtype of LSI is consistent with Keirsey-ISTP, tactical contender. So that's interesting. So the only one that doesn't have a functional equivalent to a Keirsey-Berens-Nardi type is I might be able to, I'll be able to say more about MBTI type in future once I've read Gifts Differing, which is an actual MBTI book written by Isabel Briggs Myers. Right then. So I'll give you a little preview of it. Because I want to do the thing, I want to do ISFJ with Jamie, Natalie, Shannon, and probably Kristen as well. And then we're going to do sensory introverts. So, for example, translation from Keirsey-Berens. Oh, okay. So, if we're looking at Keirsey ISFJ, logistical accommodator, just go read in 64. That's the original working title of the book. The normalizing subtype of SEI. You look at that, it's guardian. It's got stuff in there like gets upset when their children do not respect their elders, or it sounds guardian. Normalizing guardian in that context. So you can actually see Victor is seeing artisans and guardians, but he's framing them within his system. So if it's an extrovert, then it's so for example, he would see a type that we call, or that I would call, tactical collaborator, Keirsey ESFP performer. And he would see that and he would say, right, this is EP Gulenko temperament and it is creative subtype. And when you read that profile, SEE creative subtype, it doesn't sound like this popular image of Caesar. It sounds like Jeff on this channel. It sounds like an entertainer. So what else have we got? Could I like really like I don't know if I could send this link to Cynthia and say, hey Cynthia, do you want to join me on a live video? Talking about types. Probably not get. Alright. So Keirsey ISFJ is SEI normalizer. Is it secondarily like another type? Is it secondarily like? Could it be like? I don't know. I think I wrote it down what it's secondarily like. We have to wait for the proper video. Keirsey ISTJ. Yeah, there's not a one that's a functional equivalent. A Keirsey-Berens-Nardi. So SITE, there's not an equivalent. So for example, normalizing SLI isn't guardian enough. So you're gonna have to have functions that don't line up. Meaning LSI. Now this is important. This is important. So if you type somebody as LSI, if you type somebody and you think, right, this person is LSI normalizing subtype in Gulenko, but this person is ISTJ in Keirsey-Berens-Nardi, then you got to look for, how does this person relate to NE? Do they have this weird NE side to them where it's like, woo, where did that little bit of ENFP come from? Do they have like their NE moments? And then it's like, oh, if that's the case, maybe this system, maybe it's been miscategorized by Gulenko. Or if they actually do show any break kind of stuff and they've not got that other side to them, and if you see them as more aggressive then it's like, hang on a minute, this doesn't seem to match up. So it's almost like you've got two kinds of ISTJs going around. And this is what you can get with Vladimir Putin. And I think what's happened is with these systems is the people coming up with them, and they didn't know about Enneagram and Enneagram 6 and Counterphobic 6 and things messing things up. Now, the other types translate across ISFP. Yes, if you read harmonizing subtype of ESI, it is actually like ISFP. What else have we got? What's the other one? Right, so ISTP is LSI creative. ISTJ, yeah, ISTJ is LSI normalizer. So like I said, I mean, if they're the same, you got to look at the shadow functions there, or what we label as the shadow functions. So this is going to have to be one of these things that plays out to see if the systems are miscategorizing people. It's going to have to be like a whole investigation as to like, if you actually have somebody who is like, this person is ISTJ in KBN, this person is, or rather, this person is SITE in KBN, but this person is TISE in Gulenko. How that then plays out with their intertype relations and plays out with their suggestive and polar functions, that will then tell you something about whether which system has ill-defined its functions out of the two. And so this will have to be investigated, because this all comes back to how are you defining your premises. So one of the premises in Gulenko Socionics, that's humanitarian socionics, one of the premises is risk is associated with NE. And so types which are NE break don't take risk. But it's not that simple. Certain kinds of risk are associated with NE, and certain other kinds of risk are associated with SE. Dare I say it, physical risks with SE. With NE, the risk there is prepared to do something out of the ordinary, to think something new, to innovate something new. So to do something that's a bit of a, so that's the risk. So it's different kinds of risk. And so when you then come to write the profile with these things in mind, and then you think about how it plays out. So like I said before, when you come across people who resemble SITE, look for the way they use NE and think, hang on a minute, is this person suggestive for this, or are they break for this? And it might give a bearing on how the typology has been set up. There are very good reasons why Victor has defined things the way he has. And DCNH is something of an eraser for certain errors. So for example, DCNH will change ISTJ into ISTP, and ISTP into ISTJ. That's a hell of a subtype change. I'm waffling now. What else is there? ISTJ. What else is there? Oh yes, so Victor's reasons for the way LSI is and the way SLI is. Okay. LSI is a process type. LSI is the I little j balanced stable temperament. LSI is TISI with downplayed SE. So you look at that and you think, okay, that is going to be stable. But then you come up with a creative subtype and it's completely different from that. So, and that's because he's obviously seen the Keirsey ISDPs, the tactical contenders, and it's like, that doesn't fit. This DCNH subtype thing completely changed the type, and now it will be seen. If you look at SLI, so SITX. So SLI is going to be also the way you associate SI with sensing and pleasure. And then also you've got the way NE manifests. And then you've got it as receptive adaptive mindset, the Gulenko temperament. So I little p. And then you've got it as a result type. And you've got it as SI plus TI minus in the social mission block. And so you're going to have a type that's a lot more result and a lot more flexible than, say, SITE. But then you've got this thing that's blocked, and then you've got auxiliary TE plus. So, but the profile is a mixture, because it will say things like, although distrustful to new methods. Okay, that sounds Guardian. And then you've got, and then it's adaptable and doesn't like work on a conveyor. So with a lot of these things, so for example, there's a little contradiction in the SEI profile at the main type level, and you can look at it and go, okay, that's a different subtype. And all these other blocks relate to the normalizing subtype. So all of these things can have to be, can all be played out and reconciled. See, I personally think that, and we actually touched on a little bit of this with Natalie. I almost said a surname by mistake. Glad I didn't. We did the video on the logistical intellect, and I asked her about how she relates to NE, and she resembles a 6. And so it's like she's got this thing where she's really hot for extroverted intuition and possibilities, but she also is fearful of possibilities and things going wrong. So you've got that guardian kind of NE and the suggestive kind of NE, and you see both at play in SI DOMs, where every now and then they do have that bit of NE in them, a positive side, but I would say it's usually essentially negative, and seeing how things can go wrong, because usually they're 6s. They usually have a 6 in their tri-type. SEI and SLI resemblance. Although no, not SLI though. Yeah, there's an example. Farah, I would reckon that she resembles tactical contender. So that's TISE in Keirsey-Berens. No, in Berens-Nardi. And she got typed by Victor as SLI. Right, so all of these little things can be tried to be worked out. So, you know, I had a typology video in a while, so just some rambling thoughts. So 19 minutes is your lot. And you're going to get over 3 hours when I put the Catherine video up. Well, I see that.